Okay, everybody, it is part 2. I know you're interested in the numbers, and I'm sorry. Now that you've heard about my ER stint, I will definitely give you the numbers first. Surgery day, I weighed 292.6. Last week, I weighed 268.8. This week, despite everything going on, I weighed 264.6. Not today, obviously, because I've had a whole bag of fluid pumped in me. But yesterday I weighed 264.6. That's a loss of 4.2. Since surgery, that brings my total loss to 28 pounds even, which is 7 pounds a week. I will take that. And then overall, for pre and post-op loss, 39.4 pounds. Yay, Erica! I will take that and run with it, because not many people can say they've lost 28 pounds in 4 weeks. You know? Lots of you can, but not many people I know of can say that they lost 28 pounds in 4 weeks, so I'm going with it. I already talked to you about my ER visit, so I wanted to talk to you about my first cravings since surgery. We went to visit a friend of mine, and we were gone for a few hours. And on the way home, I was like, I really need to get something to eat, and we should probably get it now as opposed to when we get home, because if I eat right before I go to bed, it's just going to be bad. So we were scouting out the restaurants to see if there was anywhere that I could eat. Tried to find a Taco Bell, because I know that I can have the pintos with cheese there. But couldn't find one. So I had this bright idea of, I baked chicken tenders in the oven the night before, and I was able to eat one. Granted, they're about that big, but I was able to eat one and a half before, I decided I was going a little too far with it. But I tolerated it fine. And I've been wanting chicken so bad. But anyway, so I was like, let's just stop at McDonald's. I can get a large water and chicken nuggets, and I can eat a chicken nugget. I don't recommend that, by the way, because the pouch is very small and chicken nuggets are very greasy. Come to find out, they don't seem that greasy. Like, I knew they would be a little greasy, but apparently they're super greasy, because all that stuff washed back up into my mouth. Days later, I had an aftertaste from eating McDonald's chicken nuggets. So, word to the wise, stay away from McDonald's chicken nuggets. I don't recommend it. Even in an emergency, find somewhere else. So, anyway, we went there. I ordered my large water, and the woman rings it up as a large Sprite plain, because she has to charge us for the drink. And I was like, well, I don't want Sprite, I want water. Oh, ma'am, they know to give you water. Okay, whatever. So they give me the large drink, and he pulls into a parking spot, because I'm like, I'm going to smell this first. I lift up the thing and went, and the smell of Sprite filled my nostrils. I have not craved a soda of any kind since I had the surgery, and I was an avid Dr. Pepper drinker. If you all watched my early videos, you've heard me talk about my love for Dr. Pepper. And I wanted one right then. Any soda that they would give me. My mouth watered from smelling the Sprite. I was like, dump that out. Go back in there and get my water. In fact, have them give you a different cup, because a little bit of that Sprite's going to stay in that cup. And I didn't ask for Sprite. I specifically told them not to give me Sprite. So they can give you a new cup that has no smell of Sprite on it with water in it. Which they did, because I was very adamant. But, yeah. Well, after that, like, up to this point, I didn't even smell the food. Like, you would drive past restaurants and people would say, oh, that smells so good. I didn't even smell it. Didn't smell it at all. But after taking a sniff of that Sprite, I have smelled it everywhere. Everywhere. Like, oh, that smells so good. All the time. You know, my neighbors, or my brother and my future sister-in-law moved in next door. And, you know, they were cooking yesterday when I went to visit them. And I'm just like, oh, that smells good. I had a fear that my hunger would come back when I introduced real food, and it has, starting with the smelling of the Sprite. I do get hungry now. It's not the same kind of hunger. You know, it's not the painful, like I'm gonna die if I don't eat soon kind of craving for food. But I do get hungry. And I'm not sure if I'm just now starting to experience the head hunger. I'm sure I am, because I smell something and I'm like, oh, that would be so good. Can't have it, but it smells good. And that was a new experience for me. So I figured I would let everyone know. I'm 4 weeks out. I'll be a month out tomorrow. And the hunger is back. Not hunger like I used to have, but the wanting food is back. And it's something that so far I've been lucky in how I dealt with it, because I have this fear of eating the wrong thing and dying because of it. So the good Lord gave me a healthy dose of fear so that I would not stray and eat those things. With the exception of the McDonald's chicken nugget, and please don't do that. It was a bad experience. I tolerated it, but the grease was a bad experience. But anyway, that's my week 4. I don't really have anything else to share. If you have any questions, feel free to send me a message. I've not been real good about getting back to my messages this week. Usually I'm real good about staying on top of that, but I've just not been on top of my game. Hopefully that's going to be better this week. But that's all I have for you. I'll see you next week. Or, well, I'll see you tomorrow, because I've got some stuff I'm going to share tomorrow. See you later.